How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So, as you can see, I'm in a completely different filming area than what I normally am. I figured I'd go ahead and start a new series today. I know I said I'd be starting it on, like taking my Jeep out for a drive and filming while driving my Jeep. Well, I'm ordering a new soft top fabric for it because I don't quite, I don't really have a top lift anymore. And I figured filming with no side windows, no back window, all that stuff, doing 40, 50 miles an hour would get really, really loud. I don't have a microphone, so y'all guys won't be able to hear me. So at some point, I am going to, get a mount built and start recording in the Jeep. But for today, I just figured I'd put it in the truck and take y'all on a little drive with me. So, here we go. And what I wanted to talk about today was, and this camera's probably going to be really shaky because I only have it mounted to my dashboard for right now until I can get a more solid built mount for it. It's probably going to be shaky and all over the place. But, yeah, it's probably going to be all over the place. But today I wanted to make a video on why exactly I own a Powerstroke. And as you guys know, I'm quite a big diesel guy. This is my second diesel truck. I've been around them for a long time. Always had an interest in them. So I just figured I'd talk today about why I decided to go with another Ford over a Duramax or a Cummins. And not that I have anything against the Duramax or the Cummins, but I've always kind of been more partial to the Fords for a couple reasons. First reason is, well, that's going to be terrible. See, what I did to mount the camera was I just kind of stuck it to my dash mat, which obviously I can tell it's fine on the smoother roads, but anytime I hit a bump, it's just not holding it at all. So when I go to hit bumps, I'm sorry if I put my hand here to keep the camera from jostling around, but I really don't want the camera falling over. So anyway, why did I decide to pick another Ford over a Dodge or a Chevy? Well, first off, like I said, I've always kind of been a Ford guy, and the Fords have always appealed to me. And the Ford diesels have appealed to me. I mean, first diesel I had was a 95 7.3. The old body style trucks, the extended cab. It was a 5-speed. Oh gosh, had 300,000 miles on it. It was my first four-wheel drive truck. Before that, I had a 98 Jeep Grand Cherokee, which obviously, if you guys can't tell, I'm also a Jeep guy from the channel. But I had a 98 Jeep Grand Cherokee. And then, after that, decided it was gonna quit working. I was going through ACAL at the time, and we were putting together a couple of old Chevys. So what I decided to do essentially was pretty much buy a piece of crap truck. That's what it was. It was kind of a put together from the two trucks. One was an 86, one was an 87. And essentially what it was just a single cab, long bed, half-ton, 350, two-wheel drive Chevy. Well, I couldn't keep the thing running. So at that point, I had decided to go ahead and trade it off on a newer truck. 'Cause it was an 87. So I decided I needed a better truck. Well, at the time, I had just gotten out of high school and didn't have a whole lot of money. So what we ended up going with was my original plan was to get a single cab, two-wheel drive, blue and white 93 7.3 IDI diesel. Well, that truck ended up getting sold. So I ended up getting a 95 7.3 extended cab, 7.3 5-speed. And I absolutely loved that truck. I had that truck for almost 2 years, and that really got me into diesels, I mean, my granddad has an 06 Duramax, and I'd been around diesels before, but that really got me into diesels. So with that, I decided that, I probably just need to get one. So I ended up getting a diesel. It was a, you know, I said 95.73. So I had that truck for about 2 years, and then I decided, well, you know, I think I need something a little bit newer. So I ended up picking up this truck right here, which is a 2007 F350 crew cab long bed single wheel with the 6-liter in it. And I know some people are gonna hate on it because, you know, oh, it's a 6-liter, it's a, you know, it's a piece of crap engine. Da, 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 da. All I gotta say to that is bullshit. Now the 6.0s did have their fair share of problems, especially the earlier ones, 03 to 04s. The problem with the 6-liters is they weren't ready. Okay, so they weren't ready. Ford rushed them into production. They had a whole lot of problems with them, and it was all different kinds of not good. Well, when they got to the 05 to 07s, which this is an 07, they had fixed a lot of the issues on those trucks. And, you know, the 6-liters became very, very reliable trucks. I mean, yes, they still have their shortcomings. They'll still blow head gaskets, this kind of other stuff. But the 6-liters, you put head studs on them, do an EGR delete kit, put you an aftermarket exhaust, you know, open that up, get the EGTs real low, and, oh, what else? Retune, well, you don't really have to retune the truck. Yes, you could retune the truck. I mean, this one's got a slight tune on it. It's nothing major, you know. I use this truck for hauling, for towing, for all that stuff, so I don't need some crazy industrial psycho tune on it. But yeah, you know, O-ring the heads, head studs, EGR delete kit, you know, put a slight tune in the truck, get it to run better. And these 6-liters will actually be very, very, very reliable engines. Unlike the 6.4, which I don't really like the 6.4s. I think the 6.4s, they're essentially throwaway engines. They really are. I mean, when you got to go to rebuild the 6.4, they are so damn expensive. And, you know, you also have the 6.7s and all that kind of stuff. But to get back on the original subject of why do I own a Powerstroke? Well, there's several reasons why I own a Powerstroke and why, you know, I like the Super Duties, I like the Fords over the Chevys and the Dodges. First off, the Fords out of the 3 trucks have the best interior in my mind. You know, the interiors on the Chevys, I mean, my granddad has one, and it's a low-mile truck, but the interior on a lot of the Chevys, I think, leave a lot to be desired. They kind of feel real cheap. The interiors do. I mean, they really do feel kind of cheap. I mean, and that's my big gripe with Chevys, is I don't like the interiors on the Chevys. I don't like the material the seats are made out of. I don't like that style of fabric. That's my gripe with Chevys, is I don't really like the interiors. Now, I don't have anything wrong with, you know, the body styles of Chevys. As a matter of fact, I had a Chevy. I had a square body. I think a lot of the Chevys, you know, I don't think Chevy's made a bad looking truck. I mean, they really haven't, you know. And a lot of the, you know, the Duramax guys tend to be a little more, you know, laid back and not too quick to throw their stuff off on people like Dodge guys are. We'll get to Dodge guys in a second. But that's my gripe with Chevys. I mean, if you know, the Chevys past the interior, they're really good trucks. The Duramaxes are freaking solid. They are. I mean, yeah, the early ones had some problems, this, that, and the other, but most Duramaxes are solid. I mean, they will run forever. The Allison transmissions are, they're freaking bulletproof. I mean, until you start putting, you know, crazy industrial psycho shit on it. I mean, the Allisons are very sturdy transmissions. And, you know, the axles that are underneath Chevys. I mean, Chevys run the independent front suspension, which makes them ride so much better on the highway than the Super Duties and the Dodges because of the solid axles. They just ride so much smoother. Like I said, I'm sorry I'm sticking, you know, my hand in front of the camera, but it's to keep the camera from falling backwards because it's only attached to my dash mat. But, yeah, I happen to think, you know, the Duramaxes are solid trucks. I mean, and the newer ones got a much nicer interior than the older ones. So, I mean, the Duramaxes are solid. But I still think the Ford, you know, for the era of trucks I liked, 05 to 07, they got the best interior, hands down, I think, you know. And like I said, that's my only real big gripe with the Chevys. Now, the Dodges, I have a couple of gripes with Dodges. First off, a lot of the guys that own Dodges just think they're the shit because they have Cummins in them, you know. If you don't have a Cummins, you ain't got shit. Well, you know, the 7.3 was, you know, around just as long as the 5.9 Cummins, and it's just, you know, just as good a motor. Now, granted, yeah, you know, you run into the whole 6 liters and they're like, well, they're crap, and, you know, the fact is they're not. They're not. They have their shortcomings, but if you take care of them, if you keep the maintenance up on them, they will be just as good as a Dodge or a Chevy. And, you know, but back to the whole Dodge thing. The first thing is the guys that own them. The second thing is Dodges, the transmissions in Dodges are just, I think, in the automatics are substandard, and they were for many years. Now, in the past couple of years, they put, you know, different transmissions in them, better transmissions, and made them a lot better truck, I think. But, and the interiors in the Dodges have gotten better too, because the interior of the Dodges aren't quite as bad as the Chevys, but I still don't like them. I don't like the fact that a crew cab Dodge is pretty much an extended cab with full doors on it, you know. The Chevy and the Dodge just do not have a whole lot of interior room. I mean, the Fords are, you know, there's humongous cabs on these crew cab Super Duties, and I'm quite a big guy, so I mean, I don't like, you know, having something where I'm cramped in there. And with the Chevy, and then with, you know, not as much with the Dodge, but with the Chevy, you kind of feel hemmed in a little bit. And, you know, that's another reason. You know, and the third reason is the Fords. I mean, the way the Fords are built, I just think the Fords are built, you know, just to a better standard than the Chevys and the Dodges were of that era. I mean, not saying that the Chevys are bad or the Dodges are bad, and I'm not hating on any of them, because I really don't believe in all the, you know, this is the only truck you should buy, you know, kind of bullshit. But honestly, I mean, for me, it's always been Fords. It probably always will be. I mean, I'm not opposed to buying a Dodge or a Chevy. You know, it just kind of depends on, you know, what your price range is, what you can get a good deal on. Because I got an amazing deal on this 07 6-liter. I mean, I got it, and it had 183,000 miles on it, and the motor had been changed out at 174, and it's got one of the complete aftermarket Jasper engines in it. And, you know, in all honesty, I really do love this truck. I mean, I really, really do. You know, I really haven't had that many problems out of this truck, knock on wood. Of course, I say that and something bad's going to happen, but, you know, I just happen to think that, you know, for me, the Super Duties are where it's at. I mean, the old body style Fords, yeah, they are indestructible, but they got leaf springs front and rear, just like the earlier Super Duties. And the earlier Super Duties and the old body style Fords just ride like a brick because of the leaf springs front and rear. These 05 to 07 trucks with the coils, so much better riding. I mean, they are. And, you know, you can put the bigger wheels on them and all that stuff, because I'm running 20s on my truck, you know. I'm running the factory 2008 King Ranch wheels, the 20s, and I love them. I mean, I love how this truck rides. I mean, it's probably shaky to y'all and bouncy and all that stuff, but that's because I have my camera mounted to just stuck with a piece of tape to my dash mount, which in theory was probably not the best idea. I'm probably going to take another piece of tape and stick it on the other side of it and stick that to the dashboard, which is probably what I'm going to end up doing. But yeah, I just wanted to bring y'all along with me today on kind of a vlog. You know, this is going to be the first real vlog, and put you in the truck and you know, just take you for a drive and just speak what's on my mind. I mean, I generally do that anyway, but when I'm driving, I will admit it, I do talk to myself sometimes, which a lot of people think that that's crazy and stuff, but whatever. And yeah, I think I'm going to start doing this more often. You know, maybe once a week, you know, twice a week, bring y'all along, just talk about random stuff, you know, talk about what's going on in the world and all this kind of stuff. Just kind of give y'all kind of an insight into my life. You know, I'm on my way to Walmart right now to pick up groceries and stuff, you know, for supper tonight. But Yeah, back to the subject of why do I own a Powerstroke? Well, one, the interiors, hands down, are better, especially the King Ranches. Oh my God, those King Ranches, even the 05 to 07s are gorgeous. I mean, Ford really was I would say, the first one to get into the real luxury truck line. I mean, they really were. I mean, with the King Ranch and all that stuff, Ford was the first, and then Dodge and Chevy followed suit. And the reason number two is just the quality that I think that the trucks are built to. The Super Duties are built to really good quality, and so are the Dodges and the Chevys. But the Fords, in my opinion, now I don't think they look better than the Dodge of that era, and they definitely look better than the Dodges of the mid-90s to 2002, 2003, when they had those weird, goofy, tiny headlights. I don't like those trucks at all. And the transmissions in those trucks, the automatics are crap. I mean, they are. And that's the reason why Dodge has so many automatic transmission problems, is because in a lot of their Cummins, they use the same engines they use in the gas-powered trucks. I mean, the same transmission they use in the gas-powered trucks. It wouldn't be the same engine because it's diesel. The same transmission. And that is why a lot of those transmissions crap out. Now, the stick-shift Dodges, you know, that's what everyone wants, is the stick-shift Dodge. Nobody wants the automatics. So, you know, to me, the Super Duties, I think, are where it's at. You know, the interiors are better. You know, you get the 6-liter running right, and they are just as good as a 7.3, I think. A lot more power than a 7.3, and will run rings around the 7.3. The transmissions, the 5R110s, are bulletproof. I mean, they are. They are just as strong as an Allison, I think, and I don't think they get enough credit. But, and you know, the stick shift trucks aren't bad either. The ZF6s, they're not bad either. They're really solid too. So I think it's a combination of interior, drivetrain, frame, exterior, you know, room, all that stuff. You know, the interior space in these is just so much better than the Dodge and the Chevys. But I'm fixing to run into Walmart here, so I'm probably going to cut this video a little short, but I'll start making longer ones in the future. But yeah, I just wanted to bring y'all along, talk to y'all, babble about, and you know, tell y'all about why I like the Super Duties and why I own one and why I will continue to own one. So if y'all like this video, I will post a link in the description down below to well, I might, to some of the, you know, the Super Duty forums and stuff, and just, you know, just getting to read what other people post about them, you know. So I'll probably post a link in the description of that. If this is y'all's first time, please give this video a like, subscribe for more content. Y'all guys have a blessed day, and I'll catch you next time.